Now it's that time of year when volunteers in the south of Scotland take part in the Great Borders River Clean.
Yep, the biannual event brings over 30 towns, villages and communities together to help remove rubbish from the riverbanks and the surrounding areas. Iszatt went to meet the organiser on the River Tweed.
The south of Scotland's waterways are home to a diverse range of animals and plant life, and it's very important that we make sure that it's clean and to make sure that this particular river and all of the tributaries are the best that they can be. Tom Rawson is organised the Great Border River Clean, so thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thanks very much for having me.
So tell me a little bit about the River Clean.
So the Great Borders River Clean started around about 2 years ago, and this will be the third edition of it. It's a borders-wide, a regional river clean involving the Tweed and its major tributaries. And this weekend we should have around 20 towns and villages taking part in it.
So obviously you're the organiser here, Tom, but how has this all come about?
Well, it's something that's come about from the communities themselves, but also I'm extremely grateful to have the support of the Falago Environment Foundation to run it. That's helped with buying equipment, as well as the time needed to organise it as well.
Last year as well, you managed to get so much rubbish out of the river. How much did you get?
There were around 500 volunteers and they collected over 3 tonnes of litter.
Wow, and are you expecting the same?
I hope so, yeah. This weekend obviously is the big weekend of community action for COP26. So many of our volunteers will actually be through in Glasgow fighting for climate justice and climate change. But I'm very hopeful that if the weather holds, we'll have a lot of volunteers this weekend.
And that's so much rubbish that you collected there. Do you hope that maybe you're not going to get as much this year?
Well, I think that that's really the ultimate goal, is to reduce the amount of rubbish that's actually getting into the rivers and across the borders. Ultimately, we want to change the habits of people so that rubbish isn't being dropped in the first place and wet wipes aren't being flushed down the loo and that sort of thing.
So why is it important to make sure that our rivers are clean?
Well, I think that what we found in lockdown, and certainly over the last couple of years, is that we are so reliant on the natural world that it's important for our physical health, but also there's been studies by Mental Health Foundation Scotland that show very clearly the link between our engagement with the natural world and our own mental and physical health.
Well, thank you so much, Tom, for joining me today. Now, the River Clean is going on from today until Sunday, but don't forget, if you do want to help out, then you can check the Facebook page, or you can just start picking up the litter yourself. Iszatt, ITV News.